Let's have a great and an insightful conversation today about savings. A lot of times people talk about savings in different understanding based on where they are. But in today's video, we're going to demystify everything you've always known, learned, and heard about savings. Ask yourself this question: why are people who constantly save and will still eventually struggle financially in 20 years time? Why is that? Why is the reason that people constantly save to do something, eventually something happens and that money disappears? So that is one of the things, or one amongst a lot of things we are going to have a conversation with today.
Yeah, because some people save every month. Some avoid enjoyment. They cut down on subscriptions. People like me then will skip vacations, just anything that will take the money away.
Exactly.
And still, the pressure, the financial pressure is still there, still very real. Meanwhile, there are some other sets of people who spend strategically, they invest aggressively, and somehow they still get ahead faster. They still go by life in a very, very new way. So today we're asking this question that is very uncomfortable for many.
Very uncomfortable.
Why exactly are you saving?
Let's leave you to answer that question. But most importantly, we are going to also change the narrative on how best or how better you can save. Right? It's not just about you worshiping, oh, I'm saving and I have so amount in my account. Meanwhile, you can also now change it in such a way that you can save to build your wealth. Save for a project. Save towards something, so that in essence that money builds something for you, not just saving, but saving towards a goal. I think it makes sense like that.
Took me word. Just stay with us, it's going to be interesting. However, it's important that we say this before some of you attack us or get angry. We are not saying that saving is useless. So
yes. No,
that's not what we are saying. We are just saying that saving without a strategy would lead you to a financial trap.
True.
So save, but with a strategy. That's what we are saying. So now let's look at how did this save money thing actually start.
All right. So I will give a short example of what happened to me. When we were sharing your example with me, something happened as I was growing up. I was saving literally on paper. I didn't think I had an account then to put it. So I was saving something like I'll put 1,000 naira, I'll cover it, wrap it up, put 200, 1,000, I'll wrap it up and keep. So at some point it had gotten to maybe 13, it's above 10K. But the point is that I didn't say I was going to use this money for something. So I was just saving because maybe I had some change and all that. Eventually what happened, at the end of the day, I didn't even know what I did with that money. Like sometimes when I think and remember it, I now start thinking, oh, I would have done this, I would have done this. So if you are saving, maybe I know a lot of people who use these modern apps to save now. Beautiful, great, but it's better off that you save tying it to a goal. What are you saving towards? All right. Yes, those apps gives you a lot of some percentage. I don't know, but some people save just to add interest to their money. But what if you use it to put into something that will now start yielding money to you? So the program, or what we know as save for the rainy day, put money aside, don't spend too much. All right. Let's explain it further for you. How money actually grows. How do you even know money grows? How does inflation work? This understanding helps you know how to save better. And finally, why save money focuses value over time. For example, you save money and over a period of time, there's a value for you to use that money to solve or to attract for yourself.
I can imagine you that period.
When I remember that scenario, it has not left my head. I literally saved properly. And I think it made me to stop saving because I didn't have a goal tied to it. So at the end of the day, I didn't account for the money. I didn't use it to do anything. It just went. That's how money is. If you don't channel money right, it will definitely keep slipping off your fingers.
I actually think you picked a lesson from that.
What's
Obviously,
that?
from your language and all you've been saying, you now understand that saving is a tool. You must have a goal from the
Exactly.
start. If you don't have a goal from
Exactly.
it, whatever goal at that time it is.
How many months years did it take me for me to learn that?
So that's what we are trying to let you know here. The real purpose of saving, right? Saving is supposed to be a tool. And one thing about tools is that a tool is designated for something. A tool has a purpose. A tool is known to do something when it is being created.
Yeah.
So if a screwdriver, for instance, now was created to drive screws in, right? It's a tool. So if you understand that your saving is for a tool, that means it is something it's supposed to be used for. It is not a final destination, right?
Yeah.
Amongst the many things that savings should do for us, do for you, one, I'll just mention three. One, savings should help you protect you from emergencies. Now, when we are younger, there was something that we used to have in mind, then we save money for a particular reason. When I'm going out those days, I'll take some money from my savings and put in my pocket. Maybe all I'll spend in that day, say 2K, but I'll take extra 2K and put here. There's no why then, say, in case you going out and you push a groundnut woman's this thing down.
So nobody will now carry you.
Exactly. Just keep, okay, that money is for just in case something happens.
Exactly.
They will not have to take me to
Exactly.
something like that. So savings is meant to protect you from emergencies, give you breathing room, give you space to actually, so if something just happened, you can have space to spend from there while you're thinking of how to get bigger stuff. And your savings is also supposed to help you harness opportunities.
Exactly. Something comes up and you can literally have something to use that.
So there was a time that then, for those of us who are not Gen Zs cannot relate to this one. There's a phone called Symbian phones. How many of you know it? Put your hands up in the.
I'm not Gen Z, but I don't know.
No Symbian phone. Okay. There were Symbian phones then at the popular Nokia, was a Nokia brand.
Okay.
Basically, then I used to love games. It was my first experience of then FIFA, playing games, and it was another level of experiencing technology, Symbian phones. And a friend of mine was using an N78, a Nokia Symbian at that time. And the price was really high at them. But for some reason, he wanted to sell it. And what he wanted to sell it for that time was over 70% below its actual price. Guess what? I couldn't get it then. Because I was, just before then, I had, just like you, saved, but there was no go for it.
It's infinite.
But if my saving was intact at that time, this opportunity of getting a Symbian phone for way less than its actual value
was a great opportunity.
So your savings sometimes should be part of what you should have in mind, okay, for a certain opportunity. Because if you don't have anything tied to why you're saving, it will just go, and at the end of the day, it clears. That's it.
So you remember, now we are talking about saving like cash, but it is also linked to your savings account today. Your savings account is not your wealth strategy. It's not an account. For example, you have an OP account or a GTB account, your savings. That account shouldn't be where you also save. For example, build your wealth. I'm getting somewhere. Because sometimes people deceive themselves. The accounts you are using to spend daily, that's where you want to use and save. Like, how you are tempting yourself. Like, do you understand? So your savings account is not a wealth strategy account, all right? It's a stability for you, get food to eat, get water to drink, move from one point to another. There's a massive difference between that. So wealth, how does wealth come? How do you build wealth? You see how we are moving? We're not saying savings is bad. But we're saying you can use savings to start building wealth. And that's where we're heading to now. Wealth usually comes from ownership. Wealth comes from you investing in something. Wealth comes from owning skills, having skills that can give you money. It comes from owning businesses, whether you are in charge there or somebody's in charge, or you're getting income or benefits from it. Also, wealth comes from you owning assets. Assets may not be land. Recently, I started finding out about gold.
Rolex watches.
Do you understand? So it's when you start looking for something, you start finding it. Another form of wealth creation is leverage. Leverage. Sometimes you have people that you may not have money to give them, but because you are associated with them, you get to have things. For example, someone, this thing is being sold, for example, 20 million naira. But because you have a leverage, somebody gives you a payment plan. Oh, you don't have to pay it once because I know you know this person and you have a great integrity. Use 6 months and pay it off. That is leverage. So also think leverage and not just storing cash forever. That is the goal of this video.
When you are talking about leverage, something came to mind.
Yes, please.
I learned this early in life, and then I've seen other wealthy people practice it as well. Talking about leverage. Excuse me, please. So, you know how people say, "Love me for who I am." Love me for who I am.
Okay.
Someone asked me, "Who are you?" But then I've also realized that I need to say this. You also need to save for leverage. Talking about relationships, because there are particular relationships that you must service. And then if you don't plan intentionally, set aside money to say, okay, I'm going to use this money to take this relationship I share with this person, be it a business relationship, whatever, take it from here to here.
Exactly.
Because in time, me and you, all of us, we know relationships that are likely going to pay us or be meaningful in the future. But so we're not saying that saving is not good or you should spend recklessly or people just go invest, and you get just straight into an investment and don't have any money kept anywhere. No, we are not saying that. We are just saying that there should be a balance, right? Whilst you're saving, let there be a goal tied to it, and also do not throw all the money into investment so much so there's no money to go buy your daily. You say yes.
Feed yourself.
I say, Esther, please, I want to go home now. I have like 2K.
But you want every time urgent 2K.
No, my money is an investment. There should also be money that you should have to run your daily life. The formula actually is you earn, you save, you invest it for it to multiply.
Exactly.
So I'll take that again. The money is coming in, right? You're saving part of it, because if you save everything, which then will you invest? You save to invest it so that it can multiply. And not for you to earn, save forever, and then hope that something would happen from your savings, that the big money would just, it's not like that. You earn, save to invest so that it can multiply. Okay? Yeah. That's what the formula should be like.
There's a mistake a lot of people make. So they save and they don't have a goal towards it. That's how it started, right?
Yeah.
So somebody comes and says, oh, there's this, borrow me, lend me money, I'll pay you back. Because you didn't have a goal tied to that your savings, you lend it. What happens is that now you're now begging, calling, they're not picking your call. Do you understand? Like you're trying to get your money back and you're not getting it. So what do? You've learned that lesson. There are some money you lend. There are some money that you know that you're setting aside for something.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not saying you should be mean, that you should not help people, but sometimes also you have to think critically. Right. There's this story of our friend or a senior colleague that we listen to a lot. He said that sometimes if you constantly give out without having plan, you can, the Bible actually says, sow in the morning, sow in the afternoon, so you don't even know which one, right? But sometimes you now behave like you're careless. You don't have plan for your lives. You're literally giving out everything to everybody around you without thinking on how to grow that money. Sometimes people, because they don't understand financial wisdom or financial sense, people want to drag it. They want to literally milk you. But what if you as a person, you want to literally help people, but you also have a system that constantly gives you money as it is coming? Even if you decide to be helping people, there's something giving you money. Is it not better than literally somebody milking you every other day?
Exactly.
Tomorrow, all of you will be on the floor. You want that kind of experience. So it's not a great one or a great idea. So financially smart people usually separate monies. Okay, they do that.
Exactly.
I'm learning this now. You have to learn how to separate money. So what are the emergency money, investment money, opportunities? Opportunities keep coming, all right? And lifestyle. Yes, you can look good. You can set out money for yourself. I was listening to my colleague say something yesterday. She said, sometimes God gives you opportunity. You hit one money, you get something. A lot of times people just want to increase their lifestyle. That's not the first thing you should do. You hit, for example, you make sale and 1 million enters your account. You want to go and change everything about you immediately. No, that's not how money is grown. What happens is that you drag yourself down to very soon. You now start earning or have the same amount you used to have normally because your wisdom or your sense had not gotten to you owning that big amount of money. So you see that when it comes to money, I'm very sensitive about it. But if we are truthful to ourselves and learn how this money works, trust me, money is meant to be made and people are making it every single day. So that's the shift. Stop asking how much can I save? Ask how much money can I grow? So remember, it's in the discipline. You make 10,000 naira. How much can you grow from this? All right. So let me stop it at this point.
Took me word.
I'm not, sir.
This is a time where I engage you. If you've watched thus far, do not forget to like this video, subscribe, and please share this video with someone who this can be helpful for, especially someone who has been having it wrong with savings. And if there are other ideas you have about savings that you feel can be helpful, you can drop them in the comments, or questions as well. You can drop them in the comment down there below. Now, about what you said, she said something about the previous point where you talked about how financially smart people separate money.
Yeah.
I need to share this story, man. No, I must.
Please go ahead.
If I don't share this, life will not end. Something happened to me in the year 2023. So then I was doing a couple of businesses. Money was coming in, but it was not coming in predictably. Some months it can be really high. Some months it was just, I was doing contracts and all of that. And so this was before I learned this thing where you talked about money for this, money for that. Money came in, and I don't know how human beings used to know that money has entered. I don't know if you hit on your head like, say, this guy now, he just hits money. All of a sudden, the people you care about and have not learned to say no to start asking for money. Not learned to say no to say, oh my guy, I need this amount. No, I'll do this. I was like, sure, I got you. I send. I got you. I send. Like there's something they say, everybody has a financial ceiling that once that money once it hits that amount, pam, you suddenly come alive.
Exactly.
So when it hit that amount for me, you put myself, oh more, bro, where did all the money go?
I'm telling you.
And then the timeline to those that I had lent money to stray rich and give me back money, and I needed money to, do what things I had to, and it was nowhere. And I started feeling angry and bitter towards them. It was not their fault, it was my fault. I now had to learn this. See, no matter the money that comes in now, there is a percentage that goes into borrowing and lending. Even if I get 10 billion now, once that percentage is hit, even if there's still 5 billion available, I don't have money. I've hit my borrowing limit for that month. So till the next money comes in, that's where I'll start taking from to start borrowing, to start giving up. And when I learned that, life became beautiful. Yeah. Because people, it's only the people that you love, that you care about, that you can't say no to. When they come, Roy, I said, I don't have. Then you see me buy something that I want to use for something, but you say you don't have money. I don't have money for borrowing anymore. But I still have my money, man.
Exactly.
So things like this is things that should help you. I needed to say this so that even yourself, you can take the money you have planned to for this and then give it out, and you don't have money. It's the truth. You don't have to add the other. I don't have money for. You get the logic now.
Yes.
It's very important.
So here are the practical takeaways you'll have to take away from this video so that we don't leave you more confused than you came. The essence is that you take away something that you start doing immediately.
Yeah.
If you're a young person, if you're an older person, how about what are the things you have that is literally giving you money? That is giving you money. Do you understand? What are the assets you have that is yielding something to you? I know a lot of people who have some businesses, they are not actively involved in it. They just have a certain percentage monthly. The person runs it, give me this percentage every month. That's one way of making money. You can get gold. And literally, when I heard about or learned about gold, it's like you buy something, and as dollar increases, you can literally sell it at a higher rate because it doesn't wash. So it can be gold wristwatch, gold necklaces, anklets, and all that. So that's another way. You can also do stock if you understand it, learn about it. Real estate is a high risk investment, no doubt, But if it's something you can be willing enough to learn,
Yeah.
it's a way for you to also invest. A lot of people have a lot of rental incomes to them, to themselves, and it constantly gives them money, maybe as short lets or as yearly rent.
Yeah.
If you're not thinking about this thing now, this is an opportunity for you to start thinking about it. We're not saying you may have the whole money, but the idea or knowing about it helps you to start asking the right questions. So first, build an emergency fund. Second, increase your daily ability or daily earning. For example, some people, all you need to do now is to find ways to increase how much you are making daily or monthly. All right. There are skills, like I said earlier on in the video, there are skills you can learn that can start giving you money. So many skills as a young person, even as an older person. Don't look at yourself feeling like, oh, I'm too old for this. No, you are not. Nobody actually cares. The essence is that you feel happy and good by yourself. A lot of times people look at and say, oh, people, what will people say? Like, nobody literally cares about how you are doing. So my goal always, or around people around me, is to tell you to treat yourself in such a way that you are happy. The goal is not to look rich. All right. The goal is not for you to look at me and be like, this person. The goal is to be rich. All right. So do everything morally right for you to ensure that you constantly be happy with yourself. Right. Nobody needs to come and be like, oh, this guy, nobody needs to do that for you. Right. So this knowledge, like I said, we are all learning in this process, but you have to learn how to invest. You have to avoid lifestyle inflation, like we talked about. Money shouldn't enter your account and you're looking for clothes and shoes to buy. The time for that one is coming, but that's not the first thing you should think about. All right, buy assets when possible. Right, like I said, there is this lady that talks about stocks and all that. Sometimes I just bump into a video. I watch it. Right, when I feel it's time and I understand that this person is ready and I want to go into that form of investment, I reach out to her. Meanwhile, I already have an understanding of it. So whatever she tells me that is not, I mean, what I've learned, I know that, no, you're not telling me the truth here. Then stop confusing looking rich and being wealthy. The goal is to look wealthy, not just to look rich. All right. So most importantly, money sitting too long becomes vulnerable. Money needs direction. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, it's important that we say this again. All right. We are not saying saving is not important. It's important, right? But saving alone.
Some people will come and tell you, these people say they're not.
No, it's not what we said though.
Exactly.
But saving alone is not the full game. It's not the full route. It's not the only route to wealth.
Exactly.
Okay. The goal is, like she said, is not just to look rich or no. The goal is to actually be rich, be wealthy. The goal is freedom, options, ownership. And I'll ask you that question again. First of all, you should know that it's not about how much money you have saved, but how hard is the money you have saved or you are saving going to work for you? Because that's the path to making more money and being wealthy and making the most out of your savings. Okay,
as we round up this video, if you found value, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. And also, if you have any question regarding saving and investment, then also let us know in the comment section. We are Broad Global, we are a marketing company in Abuja, and we help you buy safe and profitable lands, apartments, houses in Abuja. So if you need any of these, do not hesitate to call us on the numbers in the description box so that we can get it up from there. All right, see you in our next video and bye.
Bye for now.